creature. In the heart of Hugang, Singapore, nestled amidst a row of quaint shops, there stood an old antique store. Its weathered sign creaked in the wind, barely visible beneath a layer of dust. Inside, among the eclectic array of artifacts, sat a doll that seemed to beckon to passers-by. Its porcelain face was frozen in a permanent smile, but its eyes held a darkness that seemed to penetrate the soul. The doll, known simply as the Hugang doll, had a reputation that preceded it. Locals whispered tales of its eerie presence and the strange occurrences that seemed to follow wherever it went. Legend had it that the doll was once owned by a wealthy merchant who dabbled in the occult. He believed that by imbuing the doll with the spirit of a powerful entity, he could harness its otherworldly powers for his own gain. But his experiments went horribly wrong, and the doll became a vessel for a malevolent force that he could not control. As the years passed, the doll changed hands, bringing misfortune to all who possessed it. Some claimed to hear it whispering in the dead of night, while others swore they saw its eyes follow them as they moved through the room. But no one could deny the feeling of dread that washed over them in its presence. One fateful day, the doll found its way into the hands of a young couple who had recently moved to Hugang. Unaware of its dark past, they placed it on a shelf in their living room, where it sat silently watching over their home. At first, they dismissed the strange occurrences as mere coincidences, but as time went on, they began to suspect that something was terribly wrong. Objects would move on their own. Strange shadows danced across the walls, and the air grew thick with an oppressive energy. The couple tried to ignore the signs, but the presence of the doll loomed over them like a dark cloud, casting a pall of fear and unease over their once peaceful home. Desperate for answers, they turned to a local psychic who claimed to have experience with such phenomena. With trembling hands, she reached out to touch the doll, and in that moment, she felt a surge of energy coursing through her veins. The doll was indeed inhabited by a powerful entity, one that hungered for souls to consume. Determined to rid themselves of the doll's malevolent influence, the couple sought out a priest who specialized in exorcisms. Together, they performed a ritual to banish the entity from the doll and cleanse their home of its lingering presence. But as they chanted the ancient incantations, they felt the darkness grow stronger, as if fighting back against their efforts. In a final, desperate act, they locked the doll away in a chest and buried it deep beneath the earth, hoping to seal away its evil forever. But as they walked away from the grave, they couldn't shake the feeling that they had merely delayed the inevitable. For in the shadows, the doll's eyes gleamed with a sinister light, promising vengeance upon all who dared to cross its path. And so, the legend of the Hugang doll lived on, a cautionary tale of the dangers that lurked in the darkness.